All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. So guys, I had the honor and pleasure of being at Vin Scully's ceremony yesterday at Dodger Stadium honoring his life, and it was an awesome experience. But while I was at the game, I could not help but be reminded of how nice Dodger Stadium still is after all these decades and years. And it got me once again thinking about just how every ballpark in Major League Baseball is unique in its own way. And I don't know, I've made a video before with my brother making a tier list ranking all the ballparks, but I feel like I want to do it again. I want to do something ranking ballparks, but we're going to do it more specifically. We're going to rank them from worst to best, just in my opinion, because, you know, everyone's going to have their own opinions. We're in line for another controversial, heavily opinionated video, which means it's going to require your comments, guys. Make sure to comment. But guys, these are my ballparks ranked from worst to best. If I had to go to a game, the worst is the last choice I would choose, and the best is the one I would like to be at the most. So with that being said, guys, let's do this. Let's start with the worst MLB ballpark, in my opinion. We're going to start with a pretty obvious choice among many, RingCentral Coliseum, also known as the A's ballpark, the A's Coliseum. Guys, this place is a dumpster. I hate to say it. I've been to a game here. You know, the atmosphere's interesting, but I mean, it's a football stadium, okay? And it's not well maintained. It's old. It's a big reason why the A's might move out of Oakland. The foul territory is way too wide. It just doesn't look right. It's not clean. I don't know. It's just really bad, guys. I mean, it was an interesting, I'll even say fun experience to be at a game here, but this is not a desirable must-see ballpark by any means at all. It's the worst in my opinion. Then we have Guaranteed Rate Field, which is the White Sox ballpark. You know, I don't know, this one it's just not good. Nothing stands out about it. It was actually poorly designed because if they flipped the outfield and made the ballpark face the other way, you could see the Chicago City, or the South Side City skyline of Chicago, and that was just a poor design error that they made. And then the seats are dark green for some reason. Why aren't they black? Black, White Sox colors like the Raiders Stadium for football. It could have been a cool sea of black. Just lacking in every way, shape, or form. Not unique at all. Not pretty. Sorry, White Sox. Then we have Angel Stadium, okay, in Anaheim. Nice city, right? The ballpark, it's not that nice. I've been to a game here. It's just nothing really stands out about it. I think right field having that really high wall is kind of weird. Kind of the rock pile in left center field, left field-ish. It's something, but it's just so basic. The fans aren't great. I hate to say it. I just wouldn't really want to come here again to watch a game when the Dodgers are not that far from Angels Stadium. Why would you go to an Angels game? Unless you're an Angels fan, of course, diehard. But, you know, if you're from somewhere else, don't go to a game at Angel Stadium. I'm sorry. Then we have Tropicana Field. Now, a lot of people actually would argue that Tropicana Field might be the worst ballpark out there, or maybe the second worst. But, and I agree it's not a good ballpark, okay? It's bad. But I don't hate it as much as some people do because it is unique. You know, the white ceiling, the dome, it's interesting. It's unique. The lighting's not bad. But with that being said, I mean, in terms of the actual game of baseball, this is a disaster. It has its own ground rules because of the 4 rings of the different catwalks they have. The ball can hit if it hits the innermost ring or the innermost 2 rings, it's in play so it can bounce off the catwalk and land into a player's glove and be an out, but if it hits the outermost ring, it's a home run. It's just the weirdest ground rules, messes up the actual game. Outfielders, players just lose the ball in the light, or lose it in the white ceiling. Why would you have a white ceiling where the ball blends in? You just lose the ball. It's pretty disastrous. The Rays, for years, have been wanting to move out of this Tropicana Field, but yeah, for that reason, it's not a good ballpark, let's be honest. Then we have LoanDepot Park, the Marlins Park, Miami. You know, great location, great city. You know, the windows in left field during the day are not bad. But other than that, I don't know. It looks kind of goofy. I don't know why. It's a really wide outfield, and they took away that weird statue in left field, left center field. And that way, you know, the shrubs as the batter's eye, not the best idea. And also the atmosphere kind of sucks because the record low attendance the last few years, I mean, it's just not the best place to go because atmosphere counts too. The fan base, what it's like as a fan experiencing the game. This is not a good location to go to. I'm sorry. Then we have Nationals Park. Now, this is This is a ballpark that for a lot of people would rank higher than 25, but for me, it's just 25 because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just basic, and it's not classic or anything. It's not that old. It's just so, nothing really stands out. I mean, you can kind of see the city a little bit. You know, the fans can be good, but it's just not special in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion. And also the rainouts. It rains all the time. It would not hurt to have a dome here in DC, retractable roof, something. It just doesn't, Nationals Park, to me, doesn't stand out too much. Then we have Chase Field for the D-backs. I have been to a game here. You know, there's mixed feelings on Chase Field. I do like the retractable roof. I like it, especially in the summer when it's egregiously hot, right? Retractable roof is a great idea. And, you know, when the thing's closed, there's nice lighting. There are positives to it. It's high tech for the most part. The center field Jumbotron's kind of cool. So there are some likable features, but it's not great. Doesn't stand out big time or anything. So for that reason, it's at 24. Oh, I skipped one. Sorry, guys. Then we have Rogers Center, the Blue Jays ballpark. Now, a lot of people actually hate on Rogers Center. They would probably have it way lower, maybe a bottom 5 ballpark. But to me, when it's open, look at this view with the CN Tower to the right, the gigantic tower in Canada, or Toronto, Canada. You know, the view's not bad, and for that reason, I like it at 23, but obviously, the turf, it's kind of fake and weird. The hotel kind of looks goofy when you close the dome, I'll agree, but with the open dome, you got it's a nice little atmosphere, and in the playoffs, we know how loud it can get. The fan experience is kind of nice. So for that reason, I don't dislike it as much as a lot of people do. At number 22, we have American Family Field, the Brewers ballpark. Used to be Miller Park. Kind of funny that it's called American Family Field. I will always know it as Miller Park. But you know what? It's a retractable roof. So when it's open, it kind of looks nice. The lighting comes in pretty well. I kind of like the windows when they're open. I like the slide where Bernie the mascot goes down whenever they hit a home run. But with that being said, when it's closed, which I feel like is a majority of the time, it kind of looks like a warehouse. The windows are closed. It just kind of looks like a Costco, if I'm being honest, or something of that variety. So it's not the best, but when it's open, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I think I'd go to a game here. Then we have Yankee Stadium at number 21. Now, this isn't the old Yankee Stadium. This is the new Yankee Stadium. You know, it has nice features. It has the Monument Park in center field, but that's what a lot of the complaints ultimately will be about this Yankee Stadium. It's not the old Yankee Stadium, so it doesn't have all that history to it. And other than Monument Park and maybe a few other things, it's not super unique, and it's obviously such a hitter-friendly park, which I would like, but you know, that short porch, maybe the design-wise, it's too hitter-friendly. I don't know. I would still go to a game here, and you know how great Yankee fans are. That would be a great atmosphere to go, especially when they're good, which is most of the time, like this year, obviously. So I don't dislike it by any means, but, you know, still probably bottom 10 in my opinion. So we move to number 20, Comerica Park, the Tigers ballpark. I like it. I think it's kind of nice, pretty nice. I like the really wide center field and the short wall. Interesting design. You got a nice view of the Detroit skyline. You can see a lot of skyscrapers and buildings. The lighting's pretty nice. And, you know, the fans show up if it were playoff time, which unfortunately recently hasn't been very often. But I think it's a nice, classic-looking ballpark. I'm a fan. Then we have Great American Ballpark for the Reds. There are some interesting features to this ballpark. I like the giant light fixtures. I like how center field, I like the batter's eye in center field. Then in right center, you kind of got that little Reds Hall of Fame area with the bats as the poles. I like the Ohio River in the background, the red seats, and the double-deck left field. I like a lot of the features here. I think it's a very solid ballpark. Hitter-friendly, so you're probably going to get a high-scoring game, which I like, along with a lot of baseball fans. If I'm going to a game, I would like to see a high-scoring game. Then we have Progressive Field for the Guardians, the really high wall in left field, and the lighting's good, and the atmosphere in the playoffs is good. I like it. I think it's a good, not too, you know, there's not too many memorable features, but I think it's a pretty unique design. I like center field. I like the shrubs in the next to the high wall, the hedges. I like those features. I think it's a nice ballpark. Then we have Globe Life Field for the Rangers, the newest ballpark in Major League Baseball. It's a retractable roof. It's massive, by the way. And I like the kind of new school, high-tech kind of design. I like the roof. Looks pretty cool, especially with this picture. But with that being said, the turf and the outfield's kind of weird. It's a little too wide. Almost feels like a football stadium. I remember the Dodgers played their entire playoff run in 2020, the COVID year, in this ballpark. The turf's kind of weird. The ball bounces kind of weirdly. The seats being green is kind of an interesting choice. So there are negatives to it, but kind of it is kind of a unique, modern-looking design, so for that reason, kind of middle of the pack in my opinion. Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies at 16. I have this at 16 because of the atmosphere. Philly fans are great, just like most Philadelphia sports fans. They're great. They show up. The atmosphere is great. I would love to watch a game on TV in the ballpark here. I'm sure it would be a great place to watch a game, especially when the team's good, like the Phillies are now. So yeah, and I like the triple deck right field. I like the batter's eye in center field, the concourse in left center. Really solid, good-looking ballpark. Then we have Truist Park for the Braves, which is pretty new. It's kind of a remodeled, better-looking version of Turner Field, the old Braves ballpark, and it's nice. You know, you got the chop house in right field, and you know the fans are loud with their chants, and the World Series last year, just a great place I think it would be to watch baseball, especially when you have a good Braves team like you do now. And at number 14, we're going to move on to Minute Maid Park for the Astros. As a Dodger fan, as much as I dislike the Houston Astros, I have to admit, I would love to watch a game at this ballpark. It's a retractable roof, the left field, the train with the railroad, it's such a nice design. They took out that really awkward kind of uphill slant in center field, which actually makes it an upgrade, and then it just looks really nice. It's very aesthetically pleasing, as you can see in this picture, and I'm a fan of Minute Maid Park, whether it's open or closed, but especially open. At number 13, we have Target Field, a very wide, expansive ballpark. I love the triple deck left field. I like kind of the brought-in porch in right field. The center field batter's eye is massive, but I like it. It's kind of classic looking. You can see the city of Minnesota. The skyline's nice, big jumbotron in left center, and I would love to watch a ball game here. It just looks nice to me. So then we move on to number 12, Camden Yards, the classic ballpark of the Orioles. Now, it's very famous for the scenic view, especially the warehouse in right field. That's classic. The massive batter's eye in center field. And you know what? It would be a fun game, fun place to go because it's usually hitters friendly. I know they moved the outfield back, but I would still love to go to a game here. It's one of those ballparks that is classic, but it's not an ugly classic. They keep it nice, and they make the classic a positive attribute of the ballpark, which I like. Then we move on to number 11, Citi Field for the Mets. You know, say what you want about the Mets. If you're a Yankees fan out there, you think the Mets are your little brother. But I'll tell you what, their stadium, Citi Field, is center stage. The spotlight, the fan base, the Mets fans are great. I would love to watch a game here. You know, you have the home run apple in center field, Pepsi porch in right, giant jumbotron in center. You really do feel like you're in the spotlight. You're on center stage when you're at Citi Field. I remember the World Series in 2015. It was electric in Citi Field, and it's a great ballpark. And as classic as Shea Stadium was, Citi Field is kind of a nicer, modern design, so I'm glad the Mets have Citi Field as their new ballpark. It was time for a change, even though Shea Stadium is a classic. At number 10, we're moving into the top 10, guys. We're officially in it. Busch Stadium for the Cardinals. Classic Big Mac land in left field. Nice batter's eye in center. The amazing view of the St. Louis Arch and the St. Louis skyline. The sea of red. The amazing fans that show up. I love the St. Louis Arch, how it's built into the outfield. It just all looks great. Who wouldn't want to watch a game in this ballpark that is a combination of classic and modern at the same time? So I'm a big, big fan of Busch Stadium. At number 9, we have T-Mobile Park. I have not watched a game here, but I've been on the field. We got a tour when we went up to Seattle for vacation. It is a really nice ballpark. I think it's the nicest retractable roof. Just looks so nice. The lighting's great. It's kind of one of those, you know, well-designed, simple but advanced at the same time ballparks. Love that big jumbotron in center, and even when the roof's open, it looks nice when it's kind of off to the side in right field. It kind of adds a nice aesthetic to the whole view of it, and then you can see the Seahawks football stadium in the background as well. You can see the beautiful city of Seattle skyline as well if you look to the left side of the ballpark. And it just looks great, okay? It's a great ballpark. I love it. At number 8, we have Coors Field, a notoriously hitter-friendly ballpark, but that is a big reason why I would love to watch a game here. Come on. High scoring, probably. Wide outfield. I love the trees in center. I love how in the third deck of right field, I think it's in the third deck, I believe, they have the one row of seats compared to the dark green. They have the one row of purple seats to indicate exactly 1 mile up of altitude. The beautiful view of the sky at that altitude is amazing. I would love to go to a game at Coors Field. At number 7, we have Kauffman Stadium, the Royals ballpark. I mean, it's just a beauty. Dead center field, giant jumbotron in the crest shape with the crown on top is amazing. The lights next to it, the fountains in the outfield. It's just so crisp, clean, looks amazing. I would love to go to a game at Kauffman Stadium. Maybe I'll go someday when the Royals are a little better. I'm sorry, Royals fans, but it's a great, great ballpark they have. Dodger Stadium, I have been here so many times. Growing up a Dodger fan, being not too far from Dodger Stadium, been to many games. It's just so beautiful despite being old. It's a beautiful classic ballpark. I mean, it's the ravine on the hill, Chavez Ravine. You got the view of the trees and Hollywood, the hills. I mean, and then the seats with the nice touch of it being kind of a beige sand-colored seat, and then the closer seats being blue, indicating the sand and the ocean, the colors of the sand and ocean. Just looks great. Who wouldn't want to go to a game at Dodger Stadium? Amazing ballpark. Has been, and will be, and is always an amazing classic ballpark to visit. And then Wrigley Field, speaking of classic, the Cubs ballpark. Of course, we know Wrigley Field. Everyone knows Wrigley Field. I mean, the Cubs fans are amazing. That alone, the atmosphere of the Cubs fans would just be amazing enough to go to a ball game. But then you got the basket in the outfield, the unique ivy on the outfield wall, dead center, kind of those the porches that no fans can sit there. I don't know what that's called, that batter's eye area, but I like it. The Budweiser sign in right, 2 big jumbotrons. It's just a beautiful classic ballpark and always will be. Who would not want to go to Wrigley Field? Speaking of classic, the oldest ballpark in Major League Baseball, Fenway Park, still looks great. Who doesn't want to go to a game at Fenway Park? I do. It would be a dream come true. We know about maybe the most well-known feature of any ballpark, the Green Monster in left field. We all know the Green Monster. And the Red Sox fans are great. I mean, who cares if it's over 100 years old? It's Fenway Park, okay? It'll always be one of the most elite ballparks in Major League Baseball. We're in the top 3. Petco Park, oh my gosh, like the city of San Diego itself. Petco Park is an absolute beauty. You can basically see the whole city. You know the weather's going to be amazing. I don't think literally there's ever been a rainout or any weather affecting the game at all. Then you have the Western Metal Supply Building in left field, which is actually what the ballpark was built around entirely. That was the first building there. They built the ballpark around the Western Metal Supply Building. And then it just looks great everywhere. So aesthetically pleasing. Weather's amazing. I mean, you can't lose with Petco Park. I would love to go to a game at Petco Park. Still haven't done it. Hopefully we'll do it someday soon. Runner-up spot, PNC Park for the Pirates. Forget the team is not that good. Look at that view. I mean, it's just, oh my God, it's so eye-catching and beautiful. The whole city of Pittsburgh's basically viewable from this ballpark. And then you have the Roberto Clemente Bridge above the Allegheny River. And then you have kind of all it's modern as well, Jumbotron in left field, the high-rise seats in right field. I mean, it's just amazing. They play great music there, even pirate-themed music. I mean, I don't know, man. What an amazing ballpark. Who would not want to go to PNC Park, even though the team sucks? I'm sorry, Pirates fans, but the ballpark is sick. Okay, so what is the best ballpark in Major League Baseball? According to me, for me, the answer is pretty simple. It's pretty easy. Despite being a Dodgers fan, the Giants ballpark, Oracle Park, is the best ballpark in baseball. The Bay View is to die for. I've been to one Giants game. They were playing the Dodgers, and I was in right field, and I was just in awe of the view. It's fantastic. McCovey Cove, awesome. I've even canoed there on the cove, in the cove, and I mean, there's nothing like it in baseball. That view alone makes it the best ballpark there is. No doubt about it, in my opinion. And then center field, you got the nice Jumbotron, the really high seats in right field, and it's just great. It's perfect. It's a perfect ballpark, okay? Sometimes the wind kicks in and it's annoying, the weather effects it has on the game. It can be cold, windy, but for the actual aesthetic view of the ballpark, it's perfect in my opinion. So guys, that is my ballpark ranking from worst to best. Make sure to comment your opinions. Where am I wrong? Where am I right? What do you think is the best ballpark? Rank your ballparks. Let me know in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed, guys. If you're a baseball fan, you haven't subbed to the channel, consider subbing. You might like the channel, hopefully. That would be super appreciated. And guys, hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.